always see people talking about how to plan your 2026 rebrand, what goals to set for your 2026 rebrand, but I never actually see anyone talking about how to stick to them goals for the whole year without burning out. Most people focus their rebrand on one thing. I want to be prettier, I want to have a gym body, I want to be a millionaire, I want to go traveling, but all these things aren't possible without changing all of your daily habits. You can't just change one aspect of your life, you have to change multiple. So for example, if your goal is to look prettier for the year, you have to change your gym routine, step up with your skincare to make sure that your skin is looking as glowy as possible. Make sure you're not eating super sugary foods or high sodium foods. A rebrand will not work if you're just changing one aspect of your life. It has to be multiple aspects of your life for it to actually work and be cohesive. So if your goal is to lose 10 kg by the end of a year, you're going to set all the steps for that goal. So you're going to set going to the gym 4 times a week. You're going to set not eating sugary foods. You're going to make a meal plan for the whole week. You can't just say you want to lose 10 kg and do nothing about it. Then even these steps, like saying you're going to go to the gym 4 times a week. Now what are you going to do on them 4 different days? You have to set a split. You have to set a routine. You're not going to go to the gym if you have no plan, no routine. You're going to feel like you're in there and you're a new person and everyone's looking at you, which obviously isn't the case. No one's going to be looking at you, no one cares, but that's what it feels like first time you step into the gym. So what you want to do is you want to plan your routine. I know at my gym, on your first day, you can book a look around where they show you all the different machines and what they do. And when you come in there, you actually know what you're doing and you don't feel like you just want to leave. My third point is that your goal cannot be unrealistic. If currently you are spending 8 hours on your phone daily, but your new goal is to spend 1 hour on your phone daily, that's not going to happen. Let's be so for real right now. Maybe by the end of the year, yes, but up until then, you have to set certain goals to knock it down. You won't be able to just one day have 8 hours screen time and then 1 hour screen time. 1 hour screen time is also not a lot of screen time at all, especially if you're doing any sort of content creation. So you really got to factor things like that in. Or for example, if you've never been to the gym before, but now you want to go to the gym 6 times a week, where are you going to fit that into your week? How are you going to work that around your schedule? Are you really going to stick to that? You need to start going, so maybe start going 3 times a week just to see what it's like. Then you can upgrade it to 4, and then you can see how many times a week you can go within your routine without burning out too much, because you don't want to set your goals too high. Small habits will create big changes. This actually leads me to my last tip, which is by far my favorite, and I used this last year and it was amazing for achieving all my goals. The year is too big of a timestamp to set a goal for. For example, your goals should be quarterly. So you set goals at the beginning of January for the end of March. I actually took this point from one of Madeline Argy's podcasts. I think she did say that last year she didn't actually use it. However, I did implement it into my life and it was a great piece of advice. So I actually do this monthly, not quarterly. And if that suits you better, then that suits you better. But that's probably because I have a bit more time on my hands. I love, for example, at the beginning of January, I set my goals for the 31st of January. Then when I get to the 31st of January, I can look over my goals, see what I achieved, see what I didn't achieve, what I did well, what I didn't do. And then I can set my goals for the next month. And by doing this, I'm making sure every single month I'm passing this little bit of my goal. So by the end of the year, I'm where I want to be. But if I set this one big goal for the whole year, it's almost like an assignment. If you have an assignment due at the end of the year, you're not going to bother thinking about it for a very long time because you're going to think you have lots of time. But if your assignment is due in a month, you're going to get started on it like now. So just to put this into perspective with like the 10 kg thing, so if you want to lose 10 kg by the end of the year, your goal for the 31st of March could be 2.5 kg. So by the time you reach March, if you've lost 2.5 kg, you can then set your goal for the next month to be 2.5 again. If you haven't lost 2.5, you can then think what you're doing wrong, what you're doing so you can't achieve that goal. You can also see what habits went well and what habits went wrong. What really made you lose weight? You can then implement them for your next quarter. Personally, I just like to set monthly goals because they just make me feel so much more productive when I get to the end of the month and I get to check all these things off that I've done. And the things that I haven't done, I remember in my mind for the next month and I write them down for the next month to make sure I do them. Then every single month I have a reminder of what I have done and what I haven't done. I think it just gives me a lot more motivation for the next month if I do this. It's almost like a yearly reset every single month. It's just so great. Anyway, this was my first ever YouTube video, so if you like this video, then please make sure to give it a like and a comment, and you can subscribe for similar type of content. Any tips would be greatly appreciated on YouTube videos because I really don't know what I'm doing. However, if you do have any other content that you would like to see, make sure to comment it down below because I'm willing to take suggestions. I'm brand new, so why not? I hope you have an amazing day and year to make sure you stick to that 2026 rebrand so you can be your best self by 2027.